This is recording of Amsterdam room tour introduction, take 4. Hi, my name is Nina, I'm 20 years old, and welcome to the room tour of my first ever, call it what you want, studio, apartment, room, but the first place ever that was mine, all mine, with my name on the lease. I've never really gone into depth about it in a video about my past living situation since moving here to Holland for my secondary study, but let's just say that my past living situations before this room have not been the greatest. And this was the first ever place that it actually felt like a safe space, and I actually looked forward to coming home to the room that I paid rent for. About how I got this room, I actually had to fight tooth and nail to get this room, and when I got it, it was nothing like the listing photos. First of all, it was so grimy that I had to completely sanitize everything with a super heavy duty cleaner, and then second of all, the walls were in horrid condition. Like, I had to completely repaint the place, and this wasn't even the level of like, oh, I don't like the color, or oh, it's a little rundown. Like, no, it was honestly an unlivable condition, and I spent a good 2 or 3 days biking back and forth from a sublet that I was currently staying at and this place to paint it before I could actually move into it. And now I think I can say with a relative deal of confidence that I managed, with all my tender love and care that I put into this place, to make it into a very beautiful, homey, sunlit studio that I'm actually a bit sad to leave. And I'm actually leaving tomorrow. I'm moving tomorrow to a new student accommodation, which I can stay in for a year. So that will be my 4th move of 2023, and hopefully I won't have to move for at least a year and a half from that place, which is good news. The reason why I can't stay here for the remainder of my study is because they're going to be demolishing this apartment building in the new year, and of course the lease is running out in conjunction with that. To give this place a proper send-off and to also help with my grieving, I really wanted to document it formally and properly in video format so that I can look back on this when I'm an adult. Because I feel like having your own space with no roommates is a very, monumental part of a young adult's life. And I'm very grateful to this room. It really gave me the peace and my own space that I needed to sort of heal from my past sort of semi-traumatic living situations. So without further ado, let's get into the room tour. Okay, starting from the entrance where I park my bike. This is my palace. So when you walk in, there's a very long corridor and has this great feature of 3 locks. I don't know, just in case there are intruders. In the front, I store the Gamma paint tins that I painted this whole place with, and I keep my keys. Not gonna show because people can apparently copy just by looking at it, and Corinne made me this little mushroom holder. And then in the entryway, I keep my trash and my recyclables, which is a lot right now because I'm cleaning up. And I keep all my shoes here because we do not wear shoes inside. We wear slippers because that's filthy. And I have all of my coats and my school bag here. I actually really hated at first how I was the only one in the hallway who had this layout of having a long corridor and then the room over there. But now I actually prefer it because the living and sleeping space is separate from the bathroom and the kitchen, which I actually think is more luxurious because it's like a faux 1-bedroom apartment. So this is the lovely kitchen. I have way too much miso currently. My auntie, she gave me this homemade miso, and then I have white miso and red miso. I don't know, it was on sale, okay? The lovely kitchen area, which is literally a hot plate. My favorite part of the kitchen is the spice rack. It came built in with it. Also, I keep all of my dry goods up here. A lot of tea. I organized it so all of my containers are here. Here, normally I store pasta, but I just have curry blocks here. In the kitchen, this plug here is for the fridge so I don't move it. But this one on the top, I basically interchange between this lamp, which acts as the lamp for the kitchen, and also this one, which is my kettle. And there's a mirror above the sink, which I have no idea why. These rooms here are really not that interesting, but what's surprising about this place is how big this room is. This is the shower room. I love how the shower and the toilet are separate here. So then if like I have friends staying over with me, which I only had one friend, Anna stayed over with me, someone can shower and someone can use the bathroom at the same time. So here I keep all of my suitcases and my bag and the drying rack for the clothes. There is a laundromat in the bottom of the building, but drying it's like €5 extra, which is atrocious, so I hang dry my clothes. And nothing too special. This looks kind of sad, to be honest. The previous person stuck mirrors everywhere, which I don't really want to think that much about. And this is like the shower. In the shower, I was honestly afraid to use the first day I was here, but at least the water pressure is strong, which is good. Here's the toilet. I don't really think anyone cares too much about it. And finally, the most important part, which is the main room. I have this little mat here to sort of separate the two spots, and also because this is disgusting. So you walk in, and I have it designed in an L shape so that you can walk here, and there's my desk area, which is my favorite part of the whole place. Like, you have no idea how hard I worked to have this space. Like, this desk makes me cry sometimes. So yeah, I have an L-shaped path to my desk. Let me get a beauty shot of the desk. In between my desk and my bed, which Totoro guards, is this trolley cart, which I keep like on the top part, it's just like toiletries, and on the bottom too, it's art supplies. And my newest addition to my bedside is Boris the bear, which you can't tell, but he lights up. And I read and journal with him at night. I wanted to give a little bit more of an in-depth desk tour because that's literally where I am most of the time. There's not really any rhyme or reason to it. I've sort of managed to organize it a bit in the midst of the chaos. Like, I have my sketchbooks down here and my French folder, which I haven't done in a really long time because I kind of got sidetracked with Spanish, but it's fine. Here at my desk I have like the infamous pegboard from Ikea that I'm pretty sure everyone has. I have like my list of videos that I'm making, and I have some knickknacks. Like, I have this keychain from Osaka that my friend Sophia got me, along with this postcard from Kyoto. I have some of my favorite prints from my own photography. Like, these are both from Cannes. And I have a pen box, more pens, and I keep my jewelry under this lamp, which is also from Ikea. Everything in this room is from Ikea, and if it's not from Ikea, it's from Hema. Laptop, notebook, where I keep my daily tasks. I have another lamp here, which sort of acts like a lamp for the whole room. And I have this written here to remind myself what I'm working hard for, as well as my noise cancelling headphones are hung up behind there and they're kind of beat up. And also this candle, which I've sort of Pavloved myself that when I light it, it's study time. And so far it seems to be working. Then here, which if I can move this, you can see it better because it's really strong dark light, is my board of inspiration, I guess, that I stare at while I work. And it's just filled with places that I really like, or people who inspire me. Like, there's Bowie and my favorite actress Ingrid Bergman and Vittorio De Sica and Sophia Loren and Alberto Sordi, and one of my favorite rom-coms, a postcard from my friends Corinne and I at some mountain lake near Mount Hood. This is Dickie Dick, which is a Dutch children's book about a really fat cat who always gets in trouble. Then on top of that, I usually will just stick up a piece of paper about my goals that I have for the week. It's not really the most aesthetic way to do it, but it gets it done. And I have like a goals list for myself because school is hard. On this side, opposing my bed, I have my getting ready area basically. And I don't have a dresser because I know that's really heavy to move, so I just have a clothing cart. Over here we have the Monstera, which has been thriving since I moved to this room. Like, do you see how enormous it got? I sort of used the Monstera to hide this atrocious thing that I got going over here with the heater. So originally it didn't work, and on top of that it was dripping. It's just such a ridiculous story. This is the handle, and it literally disintegrated in my hand. and I just kept it here on the floor because I was just speechless and shocked. And it disintegrated in my hand to reveal this screw, which I had to tighten it, and then it stopped leaking and my radiator started to work. Like, this is the towel I used to use to like mop up its drippings, and I don't have to do that anymore. And it's so nice to have heating. Some not so glamorous things is that because this building is so old, I had to like seal the window basically by shoving a towel inside of it to keep the wind and the rain out and to make it more insulated. And then I also have this little, I think it's Yona XL from Ikea. And I keep my cameras here so that when I'm walking out, I usually take one of these cameras with me, even if it's just to school, because I always regret it if I don't take a camera with me. And then I walk out. And in here, I just keep like towels and stuff. And it's just a random assortment of extra, like right now I have Sinterklaas chocolate letters that I'm saving up to bring back to the States to my friends. And on the top, I have Otto, the Minion, which is like a running joke among my friends. We all have like Minion stuff, and I got him at the McDonald's because this was like 2 summers ago now that the Minions movie came out, and they're doing promos everywhere for it. And then on the side, I just hang up the bag that I'm not currently using for school, which is tote bag. And oh yeah, Unpanman is hiding here. My bed, it's really nothing special. The special thing is that since moving here, I have upgraded and I no longer sleep on the floor. I sleep on a bed frame. Imagine that. And Totoro guards the bed, obviously, and since it's winter, I have the blanket my mother gave me. The best part about this room is the wall-to-wall window, which I honestly think saves the place. Like, look how lovely this is it not? And then in the background, there's a bike path and there's like a bunch of cows over there, which I walk that path sometimes when I need a study break. But it's just so, this is what I'm gonna miss. Like, it's so nice to just have nature in your backyard. And here below, there's this nice seating area. And this tree is so big and beautiful in the spring and summertime, and it just lost all of its leaves. So it was also really nice to have that out of my window. And yeah, that is my room. And I think that completes the room tour. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Future Nina, what does your apartment look like? What does your house look like? How does it feel to be a homeowner? Can't wait to answer all of those questions. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!